Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is moxieMatt playing Planet Coaster Career Mode, and this is the Golem's Rampage level. I hope that you enjoy this video, and more importantly, I hope that you get some sort of tip or trick out of it that you can apply to your levels in Planet Coaster. Alright, let's get started. First we'll kind of check out this level. The Golem looks super awesome. That's again, great works from the developers of the game. They keep putting out some very detailed content, and every level seems to get better as they go. Looks like we've got a monorail that kind of moves around the Golem, and there's not too many rides. And we've got a couple shops over here, and it looks like they're kind of starting us off to kind of come into this area with the paths. Looks like we got a path along the wall that the Golem's breaking through right here. Terrain is disabled in this one. Looks like we have quite a good amount of coasters, a little more than usual it seems. 2-track rides and a decent amount of regular rides as well. It's like some higher excitement ones. That's always good to start off with. And quite a bit of shops too. So looks like we're pretty good on research for now. Let's check out some of our staff. We only have 2 servers, and they are getting paid 300, which is sort of high. So maybe try to keep these to a minimum in this gameplay. As far as finances, we have no loans available. And let's take a look at these objectives. Looks like all of our objectives are park value and park rating based, except for the last one, which has a build a coaster of 5 excitement, 6 nausea, 1,000 meters long, and an average speed of at least 25 miles an hour. So I think that'll be a fairly fun kind of coaster for a futuristic style. Alright, we are starting off with 7,500. Let me get interface a little bigger so maybe you guys can see some of this. Here we go. Alright, and let's get started dropping some rides. That one's pretty big. I'm going to kind of drop something small to get us started. I'll start off with the Forge. I think I'll put it right under his mouth. I'm going to try to get the queue up going by this scenery here so we can start off with a good rating. Put the exit right by the operator so that way the mechanics can get to it a little faster. Go ahead and start testing that one. I'm going to hook some paths up. Looks like I don't have a curb on. I want a curb on this one. I think I'm going to keep the same theme that it looked like they were keeping over here with the orange style paths. Press spacebar to turn snap off and use the plus key to make these a little longer. Find it easier to get a smooth curve when you're using a longer path. Shorten it up. In case you didn't know, the hotkeys for lower and raised paths, you can either use the U or J key on the keyboard, or you can click and drag up and down with your mouse. I think that queue is plenty long. So I've just got a plain black path. Kind of keep that. If you tap the L key, that'll turn on a little light. It makes it a little easier to see some things. That looks a little wide. I might back that up. I'm gonna use a regular cue and try to get a smaller one to cut back to our entrance there. That one's ready to open. We got 100% scenery rating on that one, so that's good. It'll save us a little initial cash. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just run a few more paths and just kind of get a general outline for where it might make sense to place later on. So where is this path going? Goes to the end there. Another tip you can do is if you hold the delete key, you can just click and drag and it'll delete all the path that you come across. Turn snap back on to keep that straight. There we go. Get snap back off that. And I'm going to hold the Z or Z key to make a nice Y intersection there. Not the straightest ever, but it'll work fine. Alright, now I'm going to have a look at this monorail. Because, yeah, this is what I thought was happening. We have a ton of people stuck at the monorail. I'm actually going to pause the game, and I don't think this monorail is set up very good initially. Maybe later on it would be nice to have 4 stations, but I think we should probably get rid of some. I'm actually going to go ahead and manually set the lighting. I thought it would become daytime a little bit sooner than that, but it was not. And with the monorail, I think I'm going to actually delete 2 of the stations. So we'll see if this ends up being a good choice or not. That's what I was hoping for. Snap that in. I'm going to keep this station, obviously since there's people, and also since it's kind of catty corner from the original one. Since this one's got none, it'll be good to delete this one too. There we go. I'm gonna leave the scenery there. I'm gonna have at least some cool scenery later on after we build up some cash. go. Oh, we didn't get some janitors too. Almost missed that trash there. So this. Let's go ahead and I'm try charging 15. I remember the city level. I was ending up charging $20 for the monorail there, and people were still saying it was good value. So I think 15 is a fair place to start out. Rename these, make them a little easier to distinguish later. I think with monorails, I haven't done too much with them, but I feel like the important thing would be to not charge if you don't have paths connecting, because you wouldn't want somebody to run out of cash and get stuck on the outside of the park. So since we're connecting a path, which I'm gonna finish running one up over here somehow in a minute, I think we can charge a fair amount for them. That's got us connected back up, so they can walk all the way over there if they choose. We'll hope that they choose to pay the 15 to get over there. We'll reopen that. Alright, we can unpause the game. Get some janitors in here. I always want to go to the type of staff and then like hit a plus button or something. I think we'll put down 2 for now. We do have a fairly long walkway. It will be a lot to cover for one person. Finally getting some guests over to the forge. Looks like a few people chose to ride the monorail. I think I'm going to save this space for rides later. I'm going to keep building a couple over here. I was kind of thinking of an underlying theme for the park, and kind of like a training. You build your way up to then taking the big coaster as like the flight to fight the golem or something like that. So you can have your gravity training and then maybe your flight training, and then we'll have the big coaster over there to actually attack the golem. We'll see if it turns out that way or not. I'm gonna drop overpower right over here by those generators. Let's see, is that locked? No, we can move that. Alright, I wanted the path to come right around the side of that between the generators. Shorten that and get our width down. Hold control to bypass hooking up to the queue path for now. Let me grab the queue. So I wanted it to kind of enter with a nice Y shape there. I think that looks right. Oh, we can just open this one, that's good. Alright, we achieved our bronze rating of 350. I'll go ahead and bump the price of these rides up just a little bit. Check our scenery ratings, 56. So maybe we can add a cool archway or something over this front entrance. Let's see what we have. No pre-made arches. Let's check buildings. Nope, nothing in buildings either. I'm going to check the shops, because sometimes editing a shop building is a little faster than doing it yourself. There's one for 700. Let's try. That one is pretty big. Let's see, maybe we can kind of fit it in there. I don't think that's going to bother the ride itself too much. I have all my collisions turned off, but I still like for stuff not to collide, actually. And that brings us up to 100% rating on that one. Does seem like we've got quite a bit of people pouring in the park now. Check on our janitors. Seems like they've cleaned everything up. Check their workload while I'm thinking about it. Still both high workload. I'll leave them for now. And speaking of janitors, made me think about some trash bins. Alright, we've got 8,600. So I'm itching to get a coaster in here. So let's see what we've got to start out with. I think I might start with this inverted one, just since it's a little cheaper base to build. I'm going to check some research. I'm going to start researching the alternate launch. Hopefully that's a power launch. Grab a gift shop. Aerial acrobatics, that could kind of fit our theme of flight training. We just got a notification that a lot of people are trying to get a hot dog from the stand, so I'm going to make sure that the staff aren't being too overloaded. They've got normal workloads. That'll be fine for now. It also does look like we're not. Yep, energy features are disabled in this park. So really 300, paying them 300 isn't too much, because if there was energy features, then you'd have to have 2 employees per vendor stand. So that could equate out to 300 anyways. Alright, let's move on to the coaster. I'm going to try to make a small budget-friendly one. And I might try to keep it on this outside here. Alright, I want the entrance on the inside and the exit close to the where the path is already. I think that'll be a nice height. I know it probably looks pretty small, but I'm wanting to keep this one short. and hopefully under 6,000. I try to do unique first drops. That's something I like. Trying a different drop every time I build a coaster. Alright, we just finished up the coaster. I'm going to go ahead and give it a test run and see how the stats turn out. I didn't think that was too bad for a first run. I think I need to smooth a little bit out and add some trim brakes coming in this last section, because we were coming in hot. The catwalk looks a little funky, so we'll leave it off. Actually, I'll leave this at regular track first. You can't smooth the rotation of the track if you have trim brakes on. You can apply it, but it won't let you change it for whatever reason. So I'll go ahead and smooth these sections out before adding the brake. Now we can add the brake in there. I do like that being tightened up a little bit. I'm kind of a fan of extreme banking, so you might see some more of that later on. And one last thing, I'm going to up the chain speed just a little bit. That helps with the ratings, and also in this case where I chose to only have one car, that'll help get more people in and out of the ride faster. Try 10. Alright, that one's much smoother, so I'm going to go ahead and connect up the entrance and exit. We just got a warning that we don't have any security guards, so I guess we'll have to go ahead and hire one of those. I'm gonna keep one for now because I have a feeling he's gonna want a lot of cash. We're starting out at 300, so that's not so bad. I was thinking closer to 500. Another thing I just noticed is I totally forgot that I was going to do the entrance on the inside for this area here, so I didn't plan the back side of the coaster to allow the queue to come around under the coaster. So I think I'm going to edit, and I might kind of try to reverse this kind of loop thing so that it goes over the top rather than under. And since I'll have the extra low stretch here off of this drop, I might actually try to add in another roll. So if I roll clockwise, that'll get me into the next turn nicely. Stop test for now. Forgot it was going. I'm gonna shorten this track up. Oh, and also this is gonna allow me to get really low to the ground if I'm going upside down in that section. I think I need to get rotated over a little sooner than that. I'm going to shorten up these pieces. Actually shorten up this one some as well. I'm coming a little too close to the coaster. Back up. Get this one more time. Come out at that angle. One might be a little close to the ground. I guess we can always use our adjustment tools if it ends up being a little too close. I'm going to start to turn this one in just a little bit. There we go. And start and turn when I'm actually banking the proper way. I'm going to stay up a little bit longer. I think I actually might pause here, go ahead and route the path, and then finish connecting the coaster. That out a little bit. Turn that into trim brakes. I think that looks nice. We'll see how it runs. So let's take this for one more ride. Better than I expected. Maybe it added a little more excitement in. Let me check the heat map. Yeah, a little bit of excitement there. Don't have any spots that are too dull. I'll get some research to reveal. Sky Ace Thrill Ride. I have not built one of those yet. It'll be interesting to check out. And the Looney Balloons. I'm gonna go ahead and start one more roller coaster. And let's finish up this path. I'll worry about going into the monorail if we go that way again later. Alright, we've got Thirsty Guess. I'm gonna build a couple more shops here in a second. Alright, and we're gonna go build a shop and some scenery for this queue, and then we'll look at what we're going to do next. Alright, so we just finished up all of the scenery for this ride, and we also got the couple shops finished up here. And we're currently sitting at 25,000, so it's nice that we made a good bit of money while we were doing some scenery. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and really try to bring the park value up. Currently at 551, we have to get 700 for the medium objective. I feel like the park value will kind of figure itself out as we're bringing up our park rating. So I'm going to go ahead and drop quite a few more rides here. I'm going to check a research first. We do have one Cloud Runner coaster. And we'll research another thrill ride and an ATM. I think I might place one thrill ride over here. I'm thinking about dropping the cube here and then maybe trying to box it into like a building or something like that. I guess that finished off our park value. I'm gonna bring the entrance queue under the staircase. And I wanted this to be rotated towards the path, so unfortunately we can't really put the exit back by the operator. To keep the base of that orange. I'll go ahead and change the color of that. Usually don't worry about colors too much, but the pink and orange is very bothersome for me. Okay, that's way better. It's time to get another janitor. We've got park bins that are full. Well, it doesn't look like this is the problem area. Alright, let's work on getting a little bit of scenery for this ride. If that's close enough or not. Yeah, it's close enough. I think I'm actually not going to try to get that one to 100. If we build a building on that later like I intend to, then that should get us up to 100. But for now I'm just kind of go for quantity over quality and get a bunch of different rides down. We'll actually try to use that large entrance to get all 3 queues going through. So I'm gonna really get these out of the way. Thanks for joining me in this episode of Planet Coaster. In the next episode, we're going to finish out the level by building a couple more coasters and meeting all of our objectives. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and I would love to hear from you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.